you so much for being here. This is our AMP masterclass on articulation for flute for advanced students. We just had a class for intermediate students, from 4 to 4:45. And it was a great class, so we're going to cover advanced topics now. We've got our flute teaching artist here, Matthieu. We are going to pull up some exercises on the computer on share screen. If you're interested in volunteering and playing for us during the class, if you haven't been confirmed to play already, please feel free to chat us in the audience. Everyone here who is a flute player should have their flute out. If you're not a flute player, please still have your instrument out. Flute is in the key of C, so if you're able to transpose, you can play along with us. But we've got, yes, lots of flute players here. We've got a good program prepared, and this is our program. Thanks. Matthieu, are you ready?
Thank you, Ms. Loli, for the introduction. And thank you to everyone for joining us today to talk about the articulation. So this is more for advanced students, but no matter where you are at in your journey as a musician, please feel free to ask if you have a question or if you need any clarification. I will give you tools, and I really encourage you to try them as the lesson is going. And as you try, if you see that something is not working or you're not sure that you understood properly, please feel free to reach out to us and we will do our best to help you. Yeah. And so we count on you to volunteer. Excuse me?
Sorry, I was going to say they can put any questions in the chat anytime during the video, and I'll bring it up to you when we have a moment.
Yes, thank you.
Definitely.
So before we get started, let's talk. Articulation, what is it? What words come to your mind when you hear it? Thank you for your answer. Most of the time we think about the opposition between legato, slurred, long, very singing, melodic, or we think about staccato, short, rhythmic. And I really believe that that's true, right? But there is more to articulation. And the way I see articulation, it is a way to shape the sound. So articulation serves the music. It serves the emotion you want to convey as you play your instrument. Please never forget that the goal number one, every time you play your instrument, is to make music and convey emotion. So we're not here to perform or to play the fastest. No, we are here to serve music and touch people. So to do that the best we can, we need to talk about technique. And if you have not watched Miss Stinson's video on practicing, I really encourage you to do so. Check the Atlanta Music Project YouTube page, and you will find her video on practice. It's very interesting, and she has very good tips on how to be efficient and have fun while practicing. So part of the practicing should include the technique. And what is the technique? It is all of the non-fun aspects that will help you play the music free of all of these challenges. And one of the technical aspects that is very important is articulation. To play a good articulation, what you really need is a good tone. No matter what you do with your flute, you need a beautiful tone. So the flute is a woodwind instrument. So in woodwind, you have the word wind. Never forget that if you don't have enough air in your instrument, no matter how fast your fingers can move or your tongue can move, the result won't be as great as it could be. So we're going to start our masterclass together by playing the B-flat major scale, the one that is going to appear on the screen. So it is not the one you may be familiar with. So we are going to play it slowly, but it is very melodic, and the progression is fairly slow. So it gives us time to focus on the tone quality and the quality of the coordination of our fingers. Because that's also a very important aspect. If your fingers are not well synchronized, then the articulation is going to suffer. So let's start. Section A, B flat major, fortissimo and legato just as it is written. The goal here is not to play fast, but play free of any tension. So as you play, you really want to feel your feet grounded on the floor and the air moving freely from your tummy out to the room. If you feel any tension, let's say maybe in the throat or in the lips, then just isolate the area where this happens. Maybe you don't feel any tension when you play in the lower register, but tensions may appear when you play higher notes. In this case, go from an area where you're quite confident, let's say the medium, and from there start again and take the time to analyze how is your body responding to the pitch. For instance, when you play in the medium, maybe you're still relaxed, but as soon as you go higher, then the tension is building up. And then, as soon as you identify precisely where tension is starting to occur, go back where you feel comfortable and at an even slower pace, try to play the next note, imitating the way you feel about the previous note. So I'll give you an example. In the section A, measure 6. Let's say that at F, I feel great. But there is a lot of tensions occurring in this measure, right? You could hear my tone was not good at all, even though the F and G were quite nice. Thank you for agreeing. Yes, it was nice, thank you. But the tone was not the same as I was going up. Why? First, I was closing my throat, which is not comfortable, but sometimes we close it and we don't really control that tension. And there were more tension in my lips around E flat, F, and G. So I will start playing from the beginning of that measure, F, G. And even push more air into the embouchure. And observe that this time I didn't have any tension. So from F to C, I'm comfortable. Let's try now from F to E flat. No tension, because this time I really take the time to blow more air and also blow the air higher. So you want the quality of your tone to be consistent. By this I mean, when I play the E flat, I'm listening to see if it matches the quality of the D, the note right before. And the same, when I play the D, I was comparing that tone, the result, with the note that was just before. Because you'll see that sometimes just one note changes completely. The sound is not the same quality and tensions appear. So you want to take the time to do that work. You know, it can sound to be a dreadful work to do because you have to be slow and very patient, but that's very important because it reestablishes a sound way to play. By sound, I mean free of tensions and with a good, consistent quality. So you don't want to rush, because playing this scale fast and legato is not difficult. But when you take the time to analyze how the sound is made and coming across, then it becomes very challenging. So now let's try that pianissimo. So as you can see, I am not going fast, and also I take plenty of time to breathe. The goal is not to hold our breath as much as we can, because if we run out of air, the tone quality is going to suffer. And as the tone quality suffers, then the articulation suffers. So since our purpose is to have a better control over legato, of the slurs, we really want to have enough resources, which is air, to accomplish our mission. So I would say, as you practice, breathe as much as you can, as you need. It doesn't make sure that your breath is musical, and don't breathe too much either, because I don't want you to hyperventilate and pass out. But find a good measure and breathe in a way that is logical. As you do this, for the pianissimo, you will observe that the challenge is different than when you play fortissimo. So when we play pianissimo, we blow less air, but the pressure of the air has to be still very fast. Otherwise, your pitch is going to go down and the high notes are not going to speak. So I encourage you, every time whatever you practice in terms of technique, practice it fortissimo and practice it pianissimo, because both dynamics will give you a better grip of challenges that you're going to face. Because when you play in the orchestra or in band, you have to play those dynamics. And most of the time we are not prepared, because that's not a work we take the time to do at home. So I encourage you to do it, because it will give you better control over your instrument, over your resources, how you manage the air pressure, the airflow, the amount of air you inhale. But also it will improve your intonation, because when you practice this exercise, of course you're going to use your tuner to keep you on check. And you will notice that often we are out of tune. Yes, you might be discouraging at first, but this will, the tuner tells you the truth. There is nothing personal here. So it's better understand where we are out of tune when we are alone at home with the tuner than when we are sitting in rehearsal. And you'll notice that when you play fortissimo, very often we are sharp. When we play pianissimo, we tend to be flat. And of course, you could cheat and move your head joint, but that's not the solution. Because when you perform, you don't have time necessary to adjust your head joint every time the dynamic changes. So you need to learn the tricks that will help you play with a consistent tone, beautiful tone, and in tune. Mr. Lee, do you have any comments?
Yes, this is all good. It's definitely, it's a different kind of challenge to play fortissimo and pianissimo. Definitely. Matthieu, would you like to have a student come on to play exercise A?
Absolutely, yes. Who's volunteering?
We've got Haley ready to play.
Well, welcome aboard, Haley.
Yeah. Let me see. There she is. Haley, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you
Yes,
great.
I can hear you. How are you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good, thank you very much. It's good to hear you.
Haley, are you able to start your video? Are you in a place where you can start your video?
Yes.
Okay.
Just want to know if it's really you.
Great, thank
Hi.
you. Awesome.
So you can choose the dynamic that you want.
Okay, and I can't see the right side of the sheet music. Okay.
Now, can you see it okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Or you can play by memory.
It's just a B flat major scale.
I'm teasing you.
Okay.
Can you move it to the left just a bit more, please?
Is that good?
Yes.
Perfect.
Okay.
Great job, Haley. What observation do you have as you were playing?
I could have been controlling my breathing better, and I could have been sight reading it better.
It's okay.
Okay, Haley, you did a great job. It's on a hard scale. You know, you have to give you credit for what you did. When you say that you could have managed your air better, what do you mean?
Well, I was running out of breath around measure 4 or 5.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's true, when you said read something, it's not necessarily easy to anticipate how much air you're going to need to play a phrase.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why practicing these exercises help you, know yourself better, and then you can anticipate better when you see music. It will become intuitive, which is very helpful. Now let's talk about measure 7 to 9, 10. How did you feel about the high notes?
They could have been better.
Okay, can you be more specific, please?
I didn't have enough air getting to the higher notes like the A and the B flat.
Yes, that's right. So, and what about the air direction? Did you feel that you were blowing high enough or not? Or maybe it was just a bit of air?
It's just faster air, and I could have been blowing higher.
Okay. So would you mind trying measure 7 again, slower, please?
Yes.
It's good. Yeah, very good job, Haley.
Thank you.
Now, since we worked on that before, can you tell us what is one of the tricks I use when I want a student to blow more air?
Blowing really fast air.
Yes, and how do I make that happen? What is the torch? The what?
Just fast air coming out.
Yes, but when we are in rehearsal, what exercise have you played to make it happen?
I'm not sure.
But you remember about singing and playing?
Oh, yes.
Would you want to try? You can say no. Would you be comfortable trying?
I don't think I can do that.
No, that's okay. So one of Haley is one of our students at AMP, great flutist. And when I want to help the students blow more air, instead of necessarily focusing on the specific notes, I have them play the measures and sing at the same time. So for instance, Haley had some challenges with playing around measure 7, the high notes, which are the highest of the scale. So I would recommend singing and playing at the same time. So it is not pretty, but it helps us blow the air faster and blow more air. So I'm starting measure 7. And then once I play without singing, I promise you that the air flows faster, because as I sing, I'm closing the throat, and I'm doing it on purpose since I'm singing. But once I stop singing, then my throat is wide open and then the air can go free. So that's also a good exercise to do, to remind our brain, how does it feel to feel relaxed? I was talking with a student today and I was asking her, but by the way, yeah, I won't say her name, but I hope she's online watching this class. So I was asking her what was crossing her mind as she was playing, what was she thinking about? And she told me as she was playing Mozart, that she kept thinking, relax, relax, relax. And then asked her, did that work? And it didn't really work. So it's, yes, we want to be relaxed, but if we don't, on the moment, we don't know how it feels, we don't remember how it feels, we cannot really get there. So as we practice, it's important to create some fake tension. So by singing and playing, you create the tension and release the tension, which allows you to feel the real relaxation. So after playing and singing, you will really feel how it is to be relaxed. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Have you tried it before, Haley, singing and playing at the same time?
I've tried it before, but I can't get it.
It's tricky, but and it doesn't sound pleasant. As you can say, it doesn't sound like a concert-ready sound, but it really opens everything up in your playing.
Yes, exactly.
Definitely.
And Haley said she can't, but actually she can a bit. And
yeah, and I think a lot of it is just also allowing yourself to sound crazy for a second.
Yes.
Just be ready. Yeah. Definitely.
But it's definitely a good tool, and I really encourage you, even though it might work just for 1-2 notes, even if you can just do, if you can not hold it for more than 2 notes, keep trying, because I promise you, over the time, your endurance will build up and you will be able to sing as much and control your singing even more, because then you can even sing. So what is the purpose? It is used in contemporary music, but it can be also a technical tool to help you improve your tone. And the more you control your instrument and yourself, the better you can serve the music you choose to play. So thank you again, Haley, for participating.
Thank you, Haley. Thank you. It sounds great. And stay tuned. We'll have more opportunities to bring you on.
Okay.
All right.
So why did I choose to play legato first? Because legato, I was thinking, legato is the mother of all the articulations. And I think it's true, as a matter of fact, because to play legato, as I said at the beginning, you need a great air support, a good air pressure. And if you don't have that, then all the other articulations won't be good either. So once you're happy about your legato, about your tone as you play legato, you can move to the staccato. So in section B, we have B flat major, the same scale, but all staccato. When we see staccato, we think short and we think fast. That's true. Most of the time when we play staccato, we need to play fast. But when you practice at home, stay slow. Why? Because it gives you the opportunity to really listen to each single note and compare how they sound in relation to the other notes. It is very easy as we play to have some notes that be longer than others, or to start the scale staccato and finish almost tenuto. I mean, it's caricature, but I promise you that if you're careful and you listen, you will notice that we rarely end with the same articulation that we started with. So let's try exercise B, staccato. As I play staccato, I think legato. So when I say I think legato, what I mean is the way I blow the air is the same way I would blow it to play legato. I don't think, I think something generous and something that travels fast and far. And then as I do this, my tongue is working just to open like the faucet. Or another image I read, which I found very helpful, if when you turn on the faucet and the water is going down in the sink, if you do this with your finger, you interrupt the flow of water. And basically that's what our tongue is doing. So the faster the movement, the shorter the note will be. So don't use the pressure of the tongue to create the note, but think more that you release the air to create the sound. And when you're between the note, the pressure of the air is still ready to go. So you never drop the air pressure, which will give you a consistency throughout the whole scale. One of the main issues we have playing staccato, as I said, is that we tend to play longer as we go. Also, we tend to play longer when it's fortissimo and when it's high. When we play pianissimo, we will have the tendency of playing longer notes when we go low, because they are more difficult to produce. And the high notes may tend to break, which is why you want to go slowly as you practice. So let's try B flat major slowly and pianissimo.
And then Matthieu, one more thing. Jordan is here and she can come on and play B after you play one more time.
That's great. Hello, Jordan.
She's here.
So I'm going to play B flat major pianissimo. Just a mistake in the scale. Sorry, it doesn't go up to the B flat.
That's okay.
So Jordan,
Okay, yeah, Jordan's here. Jordan, can you hear us?
Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you for joining us, Jordan.
You're welcome.
All right. Once you've got your camera set up, I'll go ahead and share the screen. Do you have your flute out?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and share the screen so you can see the exercise.
Okay.
All right, can you see it? It goes across 2 different pages. It starts on B here.
Okay.
Can you see it? And it goes down to C.
Okay.
So it's 4 lines.
Okay.
Okay.
See it.
And you can pick if you want to do fortissimo or pianissimo. Right, Matthieu?
Absolutely. You can choose.
All right, whenever you're ready.
Oh, that's a D.
Sure.
Excellent.
Awesome, Jordan.
Good job, Jordan. Very good.
Okay.
All right. So the same way I said, we need to practice contrasting dynamics. We need to practice contrasting articulation. It's very important that when you play staccato during your practice time, you play as short as you can. So don't indulge in playing tenuto or with whatever default articulation is yours. Be very determined to have a clean and precise articulation. Now you will see in the music I gave you that you have different articulation pattern. C, D, E, F, G, H, and I are different patterns that are very good to practice. So you can play the B flat major with any of these articulation, because that's the type of articulation you will meet on a regular basis on any repertoire that you have to play. And as you do this, you're storing resources that you will use when you stage read. So, for instance, C, articulation C is too slurred, too tongued. It is an articulation you find a lot in the music by Mozart, for instance.
Good. Yeah. So just to make it clear to everyone who's listening, Matthieu is playing exercise B, but with the articulation that's in exercise C. So we're playing the B flat major scale, but with a different articulation than what's written.
Exactly, because each articulation poses challenge on their own. They're very unique to them. For instance, I don't know if you noticed, I'm sure Miss Lolly will be like, yes, but she won't say it because she's nice. But on the last 3 measures, my medium E flat would crack. Because coming from 2 slur note, pa, 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 those notes would explode. Why? Suddenly too much air on this note. So, since we're here to learn, I'll show you how I would handle it. So instead of being horrified, I'm determined to fix it. And just for your information, every note around the medium E, D, F are notes that crack easily. So be always on the lookout for them. And, yeah, and take the time to work on them. So I would practice just as slow as this. And as I play that slow, my mind doesn't wander. I'm not thinking, oh, it's easy. No, I'm thinking, okay, how is my throat? Is it, tense or not? And am I really slurring the notes? And the staccato notes, am I really playing them short because they're staccato, or am I playing them safe and longer? Because honestly, there is the temptation to play them just a bit longer to avoid them to crack. And as you practice, please don't make yourself comfortable. Challenge yourself and try. So you see, when I played it slowly, it worked just nice. So I'm sure that if I play that faster, it will work. So for instance, from measure 24, now it's the F that was cracking. So I will do the same thing with the F. So practice, choose 1 or 2 articulations a day. So I would suggest every day you practice one scale fully legato, fortissimo and pianissimo, and you practice the same scale, staccato, fortissimo and pianissimo. In addition to this diet, I would add 1 or 2 more articulations. So you could play, for instance, C, D, E, F, or whatever you want. Mm-hmm. The one I personally find the most challenging is the last one, I. Why? Because you don't have, they are slurred by 2, but that does not happen on the downbeat. So it's like this. You see? Mm-hmm. So the temptation is to change the rhythm, which is not correct. So you want to take the time to, get familiar, to get used to it, and practice slowly, and then faster. Because it's a fun articulation that is not very common, but when you have to play it, you'll be happy if you can play it. Mm-hmm. Definitely. Any questions or comments regarding these art scales and articulation routine that you can play or with any scales, like any key signature? Mm-hmm. And I really encourage you, start with the C major, so from the low C, and go to the B major, the one with all of the sharps that you dread. Yeah. And always slowly. Mm-hmm. Definitely important. I'm going to see if I can bring Jordan on again for us to do a scale in a different articulation. That's a good idea. See. There she is. Hello, Jordan. Jordan, can you hear us?
Yes.
Hey, do you want to play B with a different articulation pattern?
Play B?
B. So this is for you and for everyone who's following. What Matthieu has been doing is playing B, exercise B, but with the articulation patterns that are in C through I. Does that make sense, Jordan? So if you're at B, you're playing those notes, but you're playing slur 2, tongue 2.
Okay.
You want to try that?
Sure.
Maybe we can do the slur 2, tongue 2, and then you can pick another one. Okay.
Good idea. Are you with us, Jordan?
Oh, I was waiting for a screen.
Oh, it's not shared. Okay, that's my bad. All right, can you see it now?
Yes.
All right, good. Good. So it's E, slur 2, tongue 2.
Okay.
Good job.
Good job, Jordan. Jordan, are you able to start your video so we can see you?
Good.
Or
So Jordan, which scale, which articulation did you play?
The slur 2, tongue 2.
Yes.
let's see.
Yeah, actually we were talking about, could you please play the one in section E, which is 1 tongue, 2 slur, 2 tongue.
Yeah. That's a good one.
But I'm still playing B with that articulation.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And you can go slower if you need.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's it.
Excellent. Great job, Jordan.
Nice, Jordan.
How did that feel, the second articulation compared to the first one?
The second one was harder. I had to keep thinking about which ones I was slurring and tonguing.
That's great. I mean, that's why we practice them. Yeah, because it's not easy, but you did beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, good job, Jordan. All right, so let's talk quickly about fast tonguing. So far I just talked about the single tonguing when we do ta ta ta, but when the music is very fast, the tempi are fast, we need to play double tonguing. So the technique is, instead of having each note tongue ta ta ta, we're doing ta ka ta ka ta ka ta ta ka ta ka ta ka ta ka, which means that you can, with less movement, you can tongue more notes. Does that make sense? So if I would suspect that most of students today are familiar, but if you're not familiar, practice slowly. Ta ka ta ka ta. On the B flat major scale, for instance, you're going to double each note. So I was not doing ta ta, but I was doing ta ka ta ka ta. As you do this, you want to make sure that the t and the k match. Because the sound k can be weaker than the sound t. So you want both to be of the same tone quality, the same length, and make sure that one is not weaker than the next. Once you feel more comfortable with this, you can play, of course, a bit faster. And once this is achieved, go to section J, where you're going to play different notes, still doing ta-ka-ta. So it'll be ta-ka-ta-ka-ta. Of course, you don't have to play that fast, but you want to get used to blowing the air fast and using the tongue, doing taka-taka-ta. And because these are brief segments, it will allow you to build up the speed and also the muscle memory without getting too tired. Also, when you practice double tonguing, the same way you did so far, keep thinking about the air stream, which should be like ample, a lot of air, be relaxed. Think as if you were playing legato. It's just the movement of the tongue that is different. Is that clear? Because I really want to make sure that this is clear in your mind. No matter what articulation you choose to play or you have to play, the airflow has to be consistent and generous. And also remember, it should be fun. We are making music. And I'm jumping really quick to segment K.
Yeah, we're running out of time.
Okay.
If you want to play your little
Yes.
piece excerpt. So we've got a treat for you guys. We've got a piece, a part of a piece that Matthieu is going to play by female composer Nicole Chamberlain. You'll hear some really cool articulations in this piece, extended techniques. Articulation is really used in this piece to bring out the characters. So. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us today.
Cool. Yeah, thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you, Jordan and Haley, for playing. These are the two flutists in our youth orchestra. And we will have more classes coming up soon. We'll send out schedules of our next AMP masterclasses. Thank you so much for the class, Matthieu.
No, thanks for having me. Thank you for your help, Lottie.
Do you have any parting words or?
Just remember, we are making music, so no matter what you're doing with the flute or your instrument, the goal is to have fun, convey emotions, and make music.
That's great parting words. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for joining us. The flute students especially will be sending out these exercises to you to practice, and stay tuned for more AMP classes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone.
Bye.